Welcome to Floating Leaf Tea Podcast. I'm Shiuwen.
And I'm John. Hi.
Hi. Today, let's work on aged oolong.
Okay, great.
Well, first, let's go back to myself. I have trouble brewing aged oolong very frequently. It's like a challenging tea to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned from some experienced Taiwanese tea people that say aged oolong needs heat. So that's one. It needs heat, whatever that means, right? Heat, and put more heat, I guess.
Yeah.
However, aged oolong is like old person. Because they have been stored away for quite a while, right? The one that we're going to drink is 79 Maple. Pretty old, right?
Yeah, it's really old.
Well, compared to human age, probably not, but maybe like dog age. Probably. So like,
Yeah.
So they say because it's old, you cannot rush it.
Okay.
So it needs heat though.
Yeah.
It likes heat, and yet it's old. So you got to find a way to wake it up in a very gentle way. So when you receive this information, what comes to your mind that you can do?
Yeah, my first thought,
oolong?
and I never do this at home, so this will be interesting, but my first thought is that you could give it a rinse.
Oh.
Like a quick rinse. As well as, obviously heating up the pot empty first, putting the leaves in.
Yeah.
And then, because I've seen Noah do this. Maybe I've seen him do it before.
Oh, so you have
some he just does like a flash, quick brew of the leaves on the leaves, and then pours it out, and then dumps that out, so we don't drink that one. So that'd be my first guess as far as like giving it a wake up.
Yeah. That's very good because you already watch it. So you kind of know like
But I mean, this will be good. This will be a cool experiment because I don't do this at home. I have the aged Wii right now.
Yeah.
And I don't do this for that one.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting.
Yeah. So let's do this experiment and try to get into that space of why it might be helpful to apply heat into the aged oolong tea brewing, and how do we wake it up not in a harsh way, like that in a need time, because you cannot just like, let's use like boiling water. Well, I pretty much brew all my tea with boiling water, right? So the first one, let's just taste it really quickly. My usual way to brew any kind of teas: warm up my teapot, and then put the tea inside, and not rinsing it, and just brew it with boiling hot water. How about that? Or really hot water. Yeah. Especially first infusion is the key moment to detect if something is wrong. Yeah. Like there's like something off with this aged tea and stuff, And when I hear the tea people talking about aged tea, like they are all layer 4, they take more time to be awake. It makes sense to me. Yeah. But like, how do you wake it up? And the other day I was like telling a customer, it's like your grandma, maybe 95 years old. So move slowly, right? And then you're just like, hey grandma, hurry up, get into the car now. We gotta go. And your grandma move like this, right? Like it's so difficult. And then I try to resist, and you hold on to your grandma saying, hurry up, grandma, let's go. And then you get the grandma into the car and then shut the car door and then just drive. And then I was imagining a grandma sitting in the car, in the back of the car, and just start cursing.
Yeah.
Like, I probably shouldn't. Right? Yeah. Can you imagine what I'm So sometimes I feel like some aged tea really like have a temper and like curse back at me. Like, I am not happy with what you are doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should smell it.
Oh, yeah. Please. Nice.
Right? Hot water, right?
Yeah.
Like hot water.
Very hot water.
Yeah. Like what I usually do, hot water, warm up the pot, put the tea in, warm up the tea and stuff. So Let's see how the first infusion feels like.
So is this one from the same person that gave you that first round of Vapor that you had?
Different
Cool.
source. And then we are gonna do we'll be blind on you, not blind on me, on these 2 teas.
Oh God. Actually, that sounds really fun. No, that sounds good. I look forward to that. Yeah, that sounds really good.
But in the last episode, we talked about the temperature. Remember? Today is on the warmer side. So imagine when it was usual 40-degree outside, and this is an old building, so it's really cold inside. Everything is cools down. So if you live in a colder climate, you might have that problem that everything cools down too fast. So make sure everything is really warm.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to talk about HT for a while now because actually in this past few months, we received quite a numbers of emails from customers asking about HT, how to brew it, what they do at home. You kind of feel not all there, why not? And we have really wonderful correspondence with those people. So we thought we should also video and talk about that so that people can maybe like try this out and see if their HT change at home.
Yeah, this is great.
This tea is friendly though, that's the thing.
It's got a little nice little movement. Just a little. A good spread in the mouth.
Yeah. But as I said, the sharpness might be more if today the weather is quite cold outside.
Yeah.
Because it will be actually
I see.
harder to warm this tea up.
Yeah.
But today, even with one warming, it's already pretty all right. You know, so just
that makes sense.
Like all our sessions, snapshot this feeling. How is it feeling? Is there some essence? Do you feel like this tea is really good or not yet? And just keep that in mind. And then we're gonna do maybe put a little bit more heat, warm up the tea, and start prepare everything ready for the tea.
Yeah, no, I mean this has a nice like kind of shoulder kind of moving.
Yes, tea feels
nice,
good.
Kind of gentle but powerful movement. And obviously we're comparing it to the tea that we drank in the previous episode, which was not an aged tea.
Yeah.
So this one is very different character.
Soft and refreshing, and this one is like warm and got nice warming energy. So I'm going to just show you some simple techniques that people do in Taiwan from a couple of tea people.
But I think I know what you're talking about, and it's possible that it's what's happening with the Wu Yi that I drink at home, is that it can be sharp.
Right?
If I'm not careful.
This specific Vapor, 79 Vapor, since I got it for the first time, I always feel that the tea has been very friendly to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice because I have a little bit fear of brewing HT. You know, I have trouble brewing the HT Guanyin until I practiced for a while and I couldn't break through, and I put it aside a little bit for a few days, you know, rather than going to the same corner. I was like, okay, it's time to back out.
Yeah.
And then so I took a break, and then I go back to it one morning. I said, just show me whatever you can show, and I'm not gonna do much. So I actually let that, then I chose to brew in a Gaiwan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I just say, just show me what you could do, please. And I think that I get a little bit information. Yeah, finally the tea opens up a little bit for me.
Cool.
Yeah, but in the teapot, I did all the things, and the tea just didn't do anything back to me. Yeah, it was tight, and the tea is good, but tight. It doesn't feel like, because in the tea, I'm looking for essence, just like the Shanningsi that we tried last one. There was an essence when it opens up. This one, it feels good, but not much essence.
Yeah,
not much essence yet, you know. So there's a way, each good tea, there's a way to make it taste really good, feels really good, And then there's a feeling. There's a feeling of the tea that it show up, and I will say, well, that's really complete and really happy for me as a tea drinker and as a tea brewer too. I thought, well, I would say that's a good accomplishment.
I'm curious about the Gaiwan versus teapot example you just used, and I'm wondering if you think that it showed up for you better because of the Gaiwan or because of your kind of mental approach to it. Because it sounds like your attitude was more like show me and less, maybe like less pressure. I don't know, when you were bringing the teapot.
Yeah. I would say it's the mind. Yeah. Because I had one day, I just came in from a Tai Chi class, and then there were two ladies here, and I brewed them Laughing Buddha. And it was like the most excellent Laughing Buddha that I have brewed. And after that day, I brewed that tea because I want to recall that. I want to make that happen again. And the tea wouldn't show that way. And I did it for 2 weeks. The same thing is the attitude. What I was like so perfect. I was like making the water stream perfect. I thought it was like pretty perfect. You know, whatever I could do, I thought, well, not worse, if not better. And then why the tea was that way?
Yeah.
And I think it's my mind. I was asking the tea to be a certain way. And sometimes the tea said, hey, dude, I don't want to be this way. Why are you doing it this way? I have no idea what happened that day. It was really good.
Cool.
Yeah. And so I back off also.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's time to, it's like, okay, I think message you receive, it's really stupid to keep pushing for this corner and nothing is happening. Yeah. So remember we say heat. So what if, especially when you are in a really cold weather climate, I would really suggest this. One time warm up the teapot twice.
Oh.
Do twice.
And you poured it over the top.
Yes.
After you close the lid, which I don't usually do.
Yes. You noticed that very good.
Yeah.
So with Gaiwan, do that too.
Oh, okay, I've seen Noah do that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially people will be shocking that there's also a new thing we learned with tea inside. We also do that.
Okay.
So right now, water outside the teapot for us, there's a reason. And sometimes it's a practice. For us, I try to figure out if certain teas like that kind of heat or not. And some teas don't like it.
Wow.
So warm it up twice in a row and quickly, don't linger, put the tea in. Quick, receive the heat, let it warm up. And even with the tea inside, quickly warm it up, put the tea in quickly, and then no hurry to open it. Just let it sit a little bit.
Okay, so it's really kind of steaming
remember
in there.
your grandma? You can't rush grandma.
Yeah.
She will curse back at you. Just let the tea really get into the tea a little bit more than other teas. Remember, HT leans a little bit more, and it makes sense. They have been set aside for a quite a while. And imagine if your HT is raw up.
Oh yeah.
This one is open. This one is like more broken leaves, so easier to get in. So just take your time. Other teas, I might just like put it in, take 10 seconds, and I'll hand you the pot. You smell it. This one is just take it easy.
Cool. But so for the other two aged teas that you have,
you can try that
the
too.
Wu and the Tieguanyin, those ones, I noticed at least for the Wu when I brewed at home, after that first brew, the leaves are not fully opened. Just I assume because they're so like old, they've been aging for so long.
So now smell this. There's a difference in the smell from this.
Oh wow! Yeah, I mean wow, it is like so much like richer and like deeper. And yeah, there's It's also just like on a from a perspective of like the scents themselves. Like it's just like hits a different kind of register. Wow.
And then remember you watch Noah like actually rinse tea.
Yeah.
So you already notice we don't rinse tea very often, but with aged tea, and also apply to pour, maybe rinse it. Get more heat to get into the core of the tea. Wake up your tea.
Cool.
Yeah, warm it up. Rinse it. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rinse this tea actually. As you guys know, I normally don't rinse tea. I'm gonna rinse it.
Yeah, this is great to see.
In this season, you are gonna see two very big things that I normally don't do. And then I'm actually doing it. Okay. One is actually rinsing tea. It will be this one and pour tea nowadays. And then there will be another tea is like seriously shocking. It's about temperature.
Oh yeah, no, I have a thought of what that one might be. Yeah. So this is a pretty long rinse.
Yeah, pretty long rinse. You can do that. You don't need to do that. At least rinse it. Yeah, it's pretty long rinse.
I want to drink that one.
Drink that one.
All right.
I should try the rinse.
Yeah, I'll try it. Why not? Because it's a really nice deep color. At least have a few sips of it.
There's the rinse. Kind of shocking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's do the first real infusion.
Yeah. Wow.
And then if your area is really cold, consider doing this again. So I'm not doing this for beauty reason or so cool.
Although it does look nice.
It does look really nice. Yeah. If it's beauty reason, that's also a good reason, I have to say. I have no criticism on that one. I'm actually putting more heat to it. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, if you notice, so imagine this is my teapot. Remember, it doesn't like really harsh treatment. It's grandma. It take your time. The water should be, actually the water strain, I would suggest you to be soft. Thick and soft.
Thick and soft.
And rather than, our 冻顶.
That feels like a bit of an exaggeration. I definitely do not adjust my water stream for different teas currently.
We are gonna talk about that finally this season.
Cool. Okay.
I think we maybe touch on a little bit.
A little bit.
I thought there was too much information, and this season, as I say in our opening episode, it's about practicing all things. Yet there's a little bit more information, and sometimes including like brand new information, or at least brand new from my channel to other people. Maybe other people already received this kind of information from somewhere else, which is great. For those of you who think this is brand new, try it out. Try it out and really notice the difference. Yeah. I received this information, we try it out, and most of the time it works.
Yeah.
I say most of the time it works, right? Not all the time, because each aged oolong, this aged oolong is very friendly.
Yeah.
It works to me. I had a High Mountain Alisan aged oolong. I should brew that tea for you.
That sounds good.
Really good, but man, because it's High Mountain oolong, it was so tender. Because after I brewed the tea, I took out the tea leaves and I feel it, and it's so soft and tender. There's something about it also, it probably doesn't really like this treatment. 100% the same exact treatment. Because there's grandma and there's grandma. Not all the grandma like the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the tea, it tastes pretty good, but if I use this method, there's always a little bit bitterness in the center. And I've been thinking about it. How do I, if I don't like that kind of bitterness, how do I not let it show up? So there's a good bitter that I like, remember?
Yeah.
Dongding. I love that bitter. It's focused, it's bold, it's like, yes! You know, that kind of bitter, it's just like, yes!
Yeah.
And then that bitter in that, like such a fine tea, aged fine tea, it's like, I don't think it needs to be there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me go, yes, you know, so then it shouldn't be existing. So I've been thinking, so with information that you receive in each teas, I would say be flexible. Okay, let's try this. The real first infusion.
All right, here we go.
See a little bit more feeling show up or essence show up.
Oh, yeah, wow. That's right.
The scent. Now there's a center in the tea.
Oh, yeah.
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 It spreads more complete.
Yeah.
Deeper. There's a feeling now. Yeah, I think the best English word that I can think of is the essence. In Chinese, we say that's yun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good. I'm having my first mind-blown moment of the new season.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's just like there now. There was hints at it before, but I feel like in the same way that just smelling the leaves after they had been in the warm pot for a while, even just getting those new deeper registers, I feel like we're getting that in this brew now.
Good. Yeah. It feels something more is showing up,
Yeah,
right? Not just the tea is heavier or the tea is thicker. I think the thickness kind of maybe a little bit thicker on this one because we rinse it once. But it's just that there's a feeling and the shape is way more clear.
Yeah.
The shape of the tea is way more clear. And then finally now there's a essence, which is almost a form of aftertaste to me. Yeah, I'm feeling the tea now in many ways.
Yeah. I mean, just based on my visceral reactions, like I didn't go, oh my God, wow, to the first one, but I did to this one, you know, just like to give people a sense of how different these two were one from the other.
Yeah, so try it out. I'm going to brew one more infusion because I don't want to waste the tea.
Please do.
But I'm going to take our Gaiwan and then maybe show people how to do in a Gaiwan because some people will be like, sure, I don't have a clay teapot at home.
Right.
Or I don't have a small teapot at home. I have a Gaiwan. I do Kung Fu practice with Gaiwan. No problem. Let's just kind of review the essentials from a Gaiwan point of view too. And you can do it from a Gaiwan in a really nice way too.
Yeah, this will be good because I feel like when I try to brew the wee aged in a Gaiwan, it's just harder to keep the Gaiwan warm enough.
Yeah.
It's harder to keep it hot enough. I can't wait to try this with my aged tea at home.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
Try it. I actually brewed the heritage wee in the small tea festival. And then I didn't go through this, so my first infusion was a bit shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the audience can taste it, but I was like, oh, not my best moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got more variance in the results for me than some of the other teas that I'm more accustomed to brewing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I drink the special roast Dongding pretty much every day. And so I've been practicing that one enough that it's not going to be like really bad. You know, like the variance is you know, it's mostly good.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one is more like I will brew it sometimes and be like, ooh, wow, that was
it's
really
shocking, right?
not right.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's there, like, you know, because there's some brews where I drink it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I know when they say that, you know, it's like, it totally makes sense to me. The tea has been stored for a while. They are sleeping. So how do you use a nice skill to wake up the person, or do you want to piss that person off? Remember, sometimes you wake up a person and say, what the?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then sometimes you wake up the person they turn around and say, thank you.
Yeah.
So you want your tea to say, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, the other big thing that I'm getting so far from this episode might sound simple, but like I currently treat all of my teas the same way when I brew them. And so I think we've done a lot last season too, especially on, you know, detecting differences in brewing styles and that, you know, and those kinds of things. But maybe we haven't done a lot on how to bring out what different methods can I use for different teas to bring out the things that are different in them, if that makes sense.
Secretary, write it down. It'll be on the agenda.
Like this is this is a different method that you're using to brew this tea than you would for a different tea. Yeah. And so that's
sometimes
cool to me.
The difference will be just a little bit, like water stream, for example. Do I pour water on the top of my teapot or not? Do I mean, this will be too much. We're not going to talk about this. Do I put my tea back on the stove to let it stew? You know, like et cetera, et cetera. Do I open my lid a little bit longer than the other teas? For example, sometimes you put the hot water in. There's how soon do you close the lid will have an impact on the bouquet for sure. Wow. Yeah. So those are like details. But you know, tea brewing, for me, it's like cooking. However, it's like, is it that difficult? If you compare to cooking, well, there's 2 ingredients. Hot water and tea. Yeah. That's it. But cooking, you will deal with multiple ingredients, right? And tea is just this. However, just also because I think it's because it's just these 2. Hot water. Let's not talk about your cooking utensils. Let's just talk about the ingredients. Because there's only hot water and then tea, 2 ingredients, then other things become very clear as a detail. Yeah. And not other things. Maybe like if you are cooking how you put in the salt at home, as long as you put the right amount, I guess should be okay. Yeah. There should be sequence though. There should be sequence on when you're supposed to put in the salt. Actually, there's cooking stuff. I'm not an expert, but I know there are different times to put in the salt. You don't just randomly put in the salt, by the way. So like how you put in the water, then it will play a really key point in a tea result. That subject is actually really fun. And I was thinking to do that with you in last season, but I think we just went so long.
Well, it makes sense because you need to be able to like learn the kind of the basic techniques in order, like you have to start detecting differences in the different kind of like what we did all of last season in order to start making hypotheses about, okay, if pouring the water in this way yielded this result, maybe I should try that for my aged tea versus my, light high mountain tea.
That's right.
So it's kind of cool to add this new layer on top of it.
If you cannot tell the difference, it doesn't really matter. Right. One time I watched a person cook a fried egg. Cold pot, cold water, drop the egg in there, heat everything up. I said, hey, dude, seriously, you cook your egg this way? He's like, what's wrong? I said, the egg texture will be not cool. He's like, no, it will be cooked. I said, yeah, I know.
It'll be cooked, yeah.
But the thing is, he sincerely doesn't mind. Yeah. The egg was cooked. It tastes like an egg. The texture is really bad to me. I don't eat that kind of egg. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. And so So if I'm not saying the person is good or bad, it's just like, well, then it doesn't matter. His method is totally fine.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? Nothing. He said it tastes like egg. I say exactly. Right? So with tea, if you cannot tell the difference, then whatever method is kind of good.
And that kind of, I would say, is like for my brewing, it has been fine, you know, to brew them all the same because there's other stuff we're learning. Yeah, this one is
so rich.
Yeah, that's just cool. It's cool to me to kind of start thinking about adding this new layer in. Oh, this is great.
Feels good, huh?
It's really good. Oh yeah.
So they just repeat. Actually, just the first infusion with Gaiwan, and then I think people will get the message and then try it at home. Feels good.
Yeah, that's great.
Like there's a. Sorry to say that there's a center in the tea now.
Yeah.
So remember with teapot, you warm up your teapot twice. So do this.
Over the top. Yeah, okay.
Over the top. Why not?
Wow.
Get it hot, man.
Ouch. Doesn't that hurt your fingers?
I'll pretend it.
Pretend it doesn't.
So once. Just to be fair, do it twice. Just like your teapot. Do you know what I'm obsessed about lately? How the bubbles come out from the
Oh yeah. I like that. I like how that happens. Happens with my Gaiwan at home.
Good. They say it's a good sign.
Oh really?
Yeah, because the water is in.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Well, until you have no bubble, it's like, oh my god, there's no bubble.
Wow. I don't want to become paranoid about it, but I'm glad that mine does have bubbles.
I'm just obsessed. So just like the teapot too, quickly put it in. But never show you are in a hurry, okay?
Okay.
And then just let it sit a little bit. Just let it sit. Don't hurry.
Oh, that last one was really, really
good.
It's sitting really nicely in my body right now.
So this is the essence I'm talking about. Sure, you can like there's a energy running. You can still taste the tea, aftertaste and stuff. There's a feeling. Yeah. And when a feeling of tea shows up, it just feels really good. Yeah.
And it's like it lasts longer too, because there's sometimes where you have a tea that just doesn't, the feeling just goes away quickly.
Yeah, all the physical aftertaste also go away, right? Yeah. It just doesn't, it tastes good, but it doesn't feel as like, oh.
Yeah, like the Gatorade I was just drinking. You know, it tasted good, but it didn't like have the same kind of lingering effect. Cool. It's nice. Wow.
I mean, a little bit different.
Yeah, it's different. Got a slightly different character for sure.
And then we're gonna rinse the tea, okay? And you say I did a pretty long rinse, so we'll do a pretty long rinse too on this tea. Just get the heat in there. Let it loosen up. Yeah, loosen up. Loosen up the old joints.
Yeah.
Gotta do stretch.
Stretch it out.
So this is just rinsing. And the color is pretty dark too,
nice.
so that's good. And then taste this one. Okay. Still, I mean, always try your rinse.
Yeah,
I don't see why not. Because it's kind of a good indication of something. Oh, sharp too. Ooh. Oh, sharp. Oh, really. Like the typical HT sourness.
Yeah.
Oh, sharp, huh?
Yeah.
Like one place.
Yeah.
Sit on one place on my tongue. Yep. So the same thing, water in on the softer side. And then you say, Shiuwen, how do I do the water on the pot that you did? Do this. No fear.
Wow. All right. Cool.
And then so there's small details. I'll just tell you now, why not? I actually let the water stay here on purpose.
Okay.
For this tea. Some teas, when I do this, I actually dump the water away.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That's a new detail for sure.
So sometimes when you watch people brew tea, watch some details. And then go home and try it, and then maybe ask why are they doing that. You know? Yeah, so I let it sit there for a while, kind of to really lock the heat in there for as long as I could. You know, because I mean, Gaiwan is different. Ooh, nice color. Nice color. Good brew. Also look really oily on the top of the liquid. I will consider as a good sign.
Nice.
Smell pretty even and balanced. Different feeling than the teapot is for sure. But there's enough balance in there.
Yeah, no.
The shape is not as clear.
Yeah, no, this is really interesting.
But at least there's not a shocking.
Yeah.
Because when you brew H, sometimes the first infusion, when you don't really open it, there's a shocking texture. There's a shocking sourness. And this one, I would say that there's a little bit, but it's totally not shocking. It's supposed to be like it feels like it's part of the tea, but not that sour anyway.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you taste H tea is really sour, like vinegar, like you're like drinking warm vinegar, tea flavored water or something.
I mean, yeah, this is really, really balanced.
Yeah.
And it spreads nicely. It's interesting because it feels like this way in which it's spreading is different than that one.
Yeah.
Like to the same places, but
the feeling is a little bit different.
Not in a bad way, in a cool way.
So since this is just, I'm not trying to tell you anything. You're asking about some different techniques for the tea. So this is actually how you try then. So remember I said low and thick and gentle. How about I do my usual stuff? Because you say you do usual stuff. I don't know how you pour water in. This is my usual stuff. Pretty nice energy. Thin.
Yeah, that was nice.
Elegant. So they just keep this component different and let's put all the rest of the component the same. So still put your hot water around it. Just a little bit. And then let the heat lock in there.
That was a really nice pour from the kettle.
Nice, huh?
I want to be able to pour like that.
So sometimes when my tea doesn't show up, I get really frustrated.
Yeah. So
tea is you play. Different teas have a different temperament. You play. So I'm not gonna tell you if this cup is gonna taste like so good or so off or whatever. You will capture a feeling of this pour and see that do I really want this or not? And then you start to the thing is you don't need to do that all the time with every single new teas, because when you drink tea long enough, then just like cooking, right? Like you cook long enough, you cook all the time, then when you receive a new recipe, you kind of like, oh, I see the components. It's like the other one, and they're doing like similar things. Oh, today I don't have this thing at home. Oh, I think I can still do this. And with tea, it's the same. It's like, I just bought a bag of Dongting oolong tea from Shiuwen, so I'm gonna try this, and that.
Yeah.
And then try this, and that's don't take the joy out of your tea brewing.
Right.
Yeah. So when I get frustrated enough, what I do is that I set the tea away for a few days. I say, okay, I'm going into a corner now, and that's not really joyful. I'm not trying to get ecstasy every single day.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, it's like this every day. I want my tea to taste good. And I think that's a right thing to ask. But sometimes the tea is teaching me something. And I think tea practice should be joyful. So when you go into that frustration place, it's like, there's no joy in the tea. So just go away, man.
And the tea is not going to like that either.
Yeah, that's right. Tea doesn't like that.
If you're putting that frustration into it.
So that's to go back to episode 1, our last episode, the presence of your mind and what kind of mind. Well, try to be present with your frustration. Or bring the anger onto the table. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of presence. Not a good one, for sure. Okay, then try this one. And see how the tea feels like. Whatever comes to your mind.
Interesting. The color is different.
Maybe I don't put enough leaves. Didn't put it long enough. I thought it's a long time.
Well, no, it was a totally long time.
I think it's a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Did you see the feeling totally changed?
Yeah. Yeah, it's way different.
I won't call it bad. It's a balance in a tea still.
Yeah. It's still balanced. It's a good tea.
Yeah.
For sure.
But something changed. Even on the scent. The scent feels like almost too elegant to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that thin, really nice structure, really thin, delicate line is going up. So is it good? Oh, heck yeah. Remember we talked about the scent goes up to your head?
Yeah.
That's good. It's soft. Is that bad? It's good. Doesn't work well with this tea, does it?
Cool.
Remember, it's a grandma.
Yeah. Oh, that is really cool.
And even the body in your mouth, pretty balanced, huh?
Yeah.
You can feel it at the throat. You can feel it reach to the chest. Sigh. But does it spray when the liquid is hitting your mouth? Just hold the liquid inside of your mouth.
Kind of stays.
This line is more of this line because of the string. But some teas will work really well with that. But this one is like, well, you taste from here, you taste the first infusion. It's like,
right.
The richness. Now it's like, it's kind of pretty. But I don't want this tea to be pretty.
Right.
I want this tea to be...
Yeah. Yeah. That is cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. And so we'll work with almost like the tea personality and what kind of stream of water to go in there. But no matter what kind, it got to get in. That's why last season we work on if the stream can get into your tea well or not.
Yeah.
Just practice that. Then you can practice with the different length. That's why I didn't want to talk about it in the last season. Because if it doesn't get in, it doesn't really matter what kind you use. Doesn't really matter because your tea wouldn't show up as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, today is about HT. So
that was a lot of stuff we just covered in that.
Information 1, try that. Warm up your tea well twice. Put the tea in quickly and then take your time and let it slowly open the lid and smell the tea. And then you can choose to rinse your tea once.
Cool.
And that's a very new thing to Shiuwen type.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And then try that way to see if your HT become grand and calm and big.
Yeah, that's a good words to describe it.
Yeah. And doesn't get that first, if you 1 or 2 infusion that's seriously shocking. Because sometimes the HT is like, oh, yeah, the infusion, I really like it. Yeah. You know why? Your tea open up now.
Right.
Open up from 1. And then maybe by the end of the season, we'll open it without rinsing. I'm not sure if I could do it. That's the problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's useful.
Yeah, that's great.
I hope it's useful to a lot of people.
No, that'll be good. Yeah,
cool.
It's going to be good for me at
Excellent.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for today.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.